Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about the fallout from the Paramount Warner Brothers merger. And we've got David Ellison out there saying that he's going to reinvent the business. And that means a lot of people are going to get laid off.
Well, yeah, they're already saying they're gonna get rid of. They're gonna have $6 billion in cuts.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So yeah.
So we're going to talk about this. And honestly, right now would be a damn good time if you're a Warner Brothers employee to keep your head down if you want to keep your job. If you don't want to keep your job, just keep shooting off at the mouth. But if you want to keep your job, you probably want to shut up.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, John Oliver. You probably just want to shut up. But let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, get woohoo if you do.
Woo-hoo.
Geeky Sparkles Ginger Rage enamel pins are still available on Kickstarter. You can check that out. Got a few days to go on that. And also, if you want to pick up a copy of the Crimson Wren reoffer, we're going to leave that open for a little bit yet. Check that out on Kickstarter as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for the support. So this is kind of a rundown. We'll go out to the article. It's coming from Discussing Film. Paramount has revealed new details about their merger with Warner Brothers. HBO Max and Paramount Plus will be combined into one service. Shocker.
Yeah, I mean, we figured.
Paramax? I don't know what you call it. 15 films per studio with a 45-day theatrical window for each film. That's actually pretty good.
I thought they already said that it was going to be a 45-day window. I think that's pretty much the standard now.
That's the standard, but they're talking 15 films per studio. So you're talking HBO and Paramount, or Warner and Paramount. Yeah.
So 30. But I talked about this the other day too, and I'm like, here's the thing: they're trying to save studios, and they're trying to say they're going to put these movies out. The problem is, you have 30 films, and only a fraction of those are going to probably make a lot of money. And of those, that fraction, what's left, some might break even or make a little bit of money, but a lot of them are going to lose money too. So I'm like, you're promising 30 films per year to shut up theaters and stuff are complaining, but 30 films is a lot.
That's a lot. And yeah, they're not all going to be winners. So
I think we're getting to the place where it's overproduction. I think actually having fewer but are good, and they put the time and effort into them, is a better way to go, because then you make sure more are profitable. But they don't want to hear that. The theaters are afraid.
Yeah, it's kind of weird though, because we've seen even in theaters around here that they're taking the hits, or some of the indie movies actually, and they're putting them on multiple screens because there's not enough new stuff. So, like Iron Lung, when it came out, they had it on like 2 or 3 screens. I was surprised.
And they got half the money. The theaters got to keep half the money on that one, and everything else. I mean, I think their best bet is to find more good indie films that people are willing to work with them directly instead of going through the studios, and they get more of a cut and work with them directly and put those out instead of more studio slop.
Yeah, let's just hope that they don't bring back the 3D movies, because that was a thing for a while. Remember, every movie was 3D.
Do they still do that? I don't even know. I don't go to the 3Ds because it makes my head hurt.
I can't remember the last 3 movie I saw. We went to go see, the first one I saw was Tron Legacy, and that was bizarre. Like walking out of it, because half the movie, like the graphics are dark with the LED lights, and then walking out of that theater, I was like running into stuff. I'm like,
it took me a while to walk right again. I was like dizzy and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was,
I came out of the theater. I couldn't walk right for an hour. People were like, "What were you doing?
What theater was this?"
And then we didn't go to the 3D for Tron Ares because we were the only ones in the theater.
Oh, that's right.
So that could have been a lot more fun. But
would it have been more fun? I don't know.
No. Well, yeah, I think it would have been more fun than watching that movie.
$6 billion cost. Okay, this is it, guys. Look, if you honestly thought that everything was going to stay the same when these two companies merge, you are sorely mistaken. But
it wasn't going to stay the same if Netflix got it either.
No, Netflix just would have lied. They would say, "Oh yeah, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine." Then as soon as the ink dried, they would shut a bunch of stuff down. $6 billion in cost cutting, including consolidating on tech infrastructure, real estate, corporate overhead, and more. So how many of the Warner Brothers employees, how many Warner Brothers divisions are corporate overhead? DC Comics.
I was going to say redundancy.
Redundancies, yes. And there are a lot. When you merge two companies like this and they basically do the same thing, yeah, you have a lot of redundancy. And they're talking about like rolling Pluto TV and all this other, like there's Paramount Plus and there's Pluto TV, which is their free version, which I love Pluto TV, but there's really no reason to have like 50 different streaming services, right?
But if they put Pluto TV, were they going to roll Pluto TV in too?
Yeah, they're talking.
But
I
then
can
you
see
got to
them.
pay for it, so it's not going to be free anymore. It's all paid.
Well, no, what they'll probably do is they'll probably have like the free version. Then, if you want the paywall content, you have to pay for it, or it'll just all go behind the paywall because they got to pay for this thing. I don't know. Who knows? No plans to sell off, spin off any cable assets. Flexibility to put sports like UFC on any cable network. Oh, do it on CNN. Put the UFC on CNN. On CNN.
Why would you
Brian
do that,
Stelter
though?
gets his ass kicked on TV. Oh, that'd be hilarious. We'll continue to license movies and TV shows to other studios and platforms. So yeah, even though they've got their own thing, they're still going to license it out. AI will be a tool for artists, but never a replacement for storytellers.
But that's what it should be. It should be a tool, but not a replacement.
Yeah, summary. This is 100% true. Mass layoffs, huge debt, Warner Brothers getting sold again after 3 to 4 years. I don't think this time it's gonna happen. I think that they're just they wouldn't sell Warner Brothers off. They're gonna combine everything together. If they sell anything off, they'd sell the entire whatever this new studio is gonna be. So, and because the companies they've sold Warner Brothers to before didn't know what the hell. Like they weren't studios. Now I don't think he's really a studio. He's a tech company, but so is Netflix, right? So this is coming.
Started out as,
Yeah, right. So this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter. David Ellison unveils sweeping vision for Warner Brothers. This is about reinventing the business. You're all getting laid off. HBO Max and Paramount Plus will be merged when the deal closes. The mogul told Wall Street early Monday morning. David Ellison wants to forge a modern media and entertainment empire. Warner Brothers will become its centerpiece. The CEO of Paramount on Monday spoke for the first time about the $110 billion mega deal, which will see the smaller company backed by tens of billions from his father and tens of billions in debt from a consortium of lenders swallow the larger one. The result's going to be a behemoth. Yeah, basically at this point, once they merge, it's basically going to be Disney versus Paramount.
Well,
Warner Brothers.
And Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix, but like we're gonna have the big three networks.
But ironically, though, YouTube's still beating them all as far as viewership.
Yeah, but I'm talking IP ownership is basically
ownership.
Yeah, it's gonna be Disney with Fox and Marvel and all that stuff. Then you've got Paramount and Warner Brothers and that stuff, and then whatever Netflix makes itself.
Yeah, that's true. No, that's true for IP. Yeah,
because I'm thinking like who is left outside of that? Those were the big studios. Paramount,
because a lot of the
Warner
other
Brothers.
things that had like IP kind of got gobbled up by those already, by Paramount and stuff already.
MGM with Amazon.
Well, yeah, that's true, but that isn't a whole lot. Is there a lot?
No,
like that?
that's not compared to Warner Brothers. I mean, Warner Brothers, Paramount, Disney, Fox, MGM, they were the biggest players, and they're all gobbled up by tech companies now. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the way it is. Do you think the contract negotiations are going to go so well for the union this time? I don't think they're going to.
I don't know, but I did a video on that yesterday.
They said, jumble of TV studios, 2 major streaming services, and a stable of TV channels that will include CBS, TNT, CNN, MTV, Nickelodeon, HGTV. It will be a major sports player, and we'll combine the 2 news giants in CNN and CBS. Ellison outlined the deal as being about the future of the entertainment business by uniting our iconic studios' complementary streaming platforms with a global footprint. Our cable and linear networks and our world-class IP, we have the opportunity to help shape the future and build a next-generation media and entertainment company. This has been our goal since day one, so we're going to license this shit out.
But you're
AI.
right; it's the only one that's even remotely capable of going up against Disney as far as how many franchises they own and stuff that are big.
Yeah, because we have Universal, but they're not. Universal and MGM aren't even.
But they're
close.
not. They're not close. You know what I'm saying?
No. And they're propped up by, Amazon's got MGM now, and then Comcast has Universal.
They're both tech, yeah.
So it's basically the 2 big ones, I think, are going to be this company and Disney / Fox / Marvel, whatever. And then, the outliers, but it's crazy. This is not about consolidation. It's about reinventing the business. Translation, you're all getting fired. We want to expand our reach and enhance our ability to create the world's most compelling stories and experiences, and we're incredibly excited about this transaction. It will accelerate that ambition. Hollywood has been wary of the deal out of concerns for jobs and production. Ellison
Yes, but now when it's you guys, they're not just worried about that. They worry about jobs in production when it was Netflix. Now with you, they're super far upset because they're super far left, and they're super far afraid that you're going to go super far to the right.
All he's saying is we're not gonna end theatrical. We're not gonna pull the plug on HBO. Well, no, they make money. But I think if you don't make money, you're screwed.
You're gonna be part of that $6 billion in cuts.
So here's what I think is going to potentially happen, and the left did it to themselves. They had pretty much complete uncontested control of the media, all media, for 10 to 15 years, far left, and the pendulum's going to swing, and it's going to be at least 15 to 20 years until they get control of anything again. I think it's you could argue Disney
enough
and
time
Fox,
for people to forget.
right? And I think that there was so much damage done, so much trust eroded in that span of time, and the zeitgeist has changed, that I think it's going to be a very long time before they get a hold of it again. And really, a lot of these people are going to look at the situation and be like, we made the worst financial decisions we've ever made in our entire history. And these companies blew themselves up in a lot of ways trying to chase, the activism and the wokeness and the whatever. And here they are. Now they all have to sell themselves off. So good luck with that.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to work
I can't
for
really add much to that. So.
well, I'm just saying, like, if you don't want to work for right wingers, well, good luck with that, because they're going to own like 3/4 of Hollywood. And yeah, you can argue Disney, but even Disney is starting to walk back to center.
A lot of places are walking it back to center, and that's what they're so mad about. But they want profit. They're pivoting to profitability, because
Yes.
if you can, because when you're in the center, most people are in the center, either right, left, or center, and that's the majority of people. You have some people that are extremists, but the majority of everyone, I think, globally, it seems to be like center. And if you lead into that and you go back to center, but it'll appeal to people that are right of center and left of center as well. That's you can grab the market, from that, because you have your outliers, but they're small. I mean, there's a lot of far leftists, but not anywhere near as many as there are of people in the middle. So you go back to where you're going to make money. It's just common sense.
Well, here's where it's going to be really interesting, because Warner Brothers, it is like hot potato. Every time it gets sold, it gets sold with more and more debt. Mm-hmm. And Paramount had a ton of debt, which is why they got sold. This is why I understand. Nobody is looking at the financials of Hollywood. They're like, oh, we had a really big opening weekend for this one movie. I'm like, yeah, you look at the health of the company, and it's basically everybody's maxing out their credit cards, and they have been for years, right? And a lot of it was streaming. They chased streaming, and they blew themselves up. They said there are going to be financial impacts. Those remain a source of indigestion for the town. Yeah, they know they're not going to get what they're asking for next time around. The company is going to have $79 billion of debt. Paramount Chief Strategy Officer Andy Gordon told analysts on the call, and it's targeting a $6 billion cost savings and a 3x leverage within 3 years of closing. They're going to be brutal. They are going to cut everything that does not make money.
And then they're going to double down on things that are going to perform.
Yeah.
And you guys aren't going to like it, because they're going to go back to putting things where they were when people would buy them.
Are you getting a season 3 of Starfleet Academy? No. I can almost guarantee you're not getting a season 3 of Starfleet Academy. I think they may actually wind up shutting down DC Comics as a comic publisher and outsource it.
Well, they were going to outsource other things, they said, so it wouldn't surprise me.
It saves money, right? That means a lot of jobs lost, though they took the effort to say that the majority of the savings will not come from labor. We have no intention to pull back on production.
Let's pull back on production, but you're going to run into redundancies no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Even when you combine any two big companies, you don't need 2 departments of each company. You can take people and, keep some from both, so the best of the best from either one will get to keep their jobs probably, or depending on maybe the less expensive people, depending on where they want to go with it. But they're going to be getting, some people will get to stay, and then a bunch of people will have to get gone. That's just the way it works.
Blue Sky is taking it very well.
Oh, yes, of course they are.
Me to the monkey's paw. I wish Star Trek wasn't on Paramount. It's the HBO Max. And this guy says, hard to see this as anything other than Stelter sucking up to his future bosses. Let's check in on Brian Stelter. What's he doing? Brian Stelter writes, CBS News has not been captured. Oh, that's interesting. I suspect liberals who claim CBS has gone MAGA aren't really watching the network. Yeah. I, for one, welcome our new insect overlords.
Yeah.
Because he knows he's going to be on the chopping block. All these guys.
I don't think everything's gone mad. They're trying to go back to center is what they're trying to do.
That's what we keep trying to tell people. Because, I think we consider ourselves, pretty moderate Democrats, most of our adult lives. And I'm looking at the situation now. I'm like, yeah, the center looks far right to people who are on the far left. Mm-hmm. Because you're so far left. I mean, the far left is completely unrecognizable.
Well, that's just it. The problem is now a lot of people are turning because they've been, and they're turning even more because they're like, this is just getting too out of hand. The behavior they're seeing, like over things like not standing when you say America first, or the behavior about some of the stuff that they're doing. People are like over it, and more people are loudly saying we're over it.
Yeah. Was this CNN put up a paywall? Oh yeah, they put a paywall up on their website now.
A lot of them are doing that because they all are. They have to.
Freaking out. They're all freaking out. So here's the thing. I'll mention it in this video. It's not really worth a whole nother video. But all these news sites, they're going to be completely obsolete because more and more AI is writing its own articles. Mm-hmm. Like Grok can write its own articles. And I was surprised. I didn't realize it was doing that. But it is. It's basically just taking all the tweets and all the information that's out there and generating an article. And what are these websites doing? Like, they're just going out to Reddit and being like, it's the world's biggest pickle or whatever the fuck, and it's trending on Reddit, and here's an article about it. That's not really journalism. It's not really hard-hitting journalism. I saw something today. It was on X. It was about airlines are... And this was the New York Post, I think. It was airlines are destroying the seats or something like that. And they had a section in the middle of a seat, and they were trying to convince people that this was the what they call it, the cheek splitter 3000. Here it was a thing they put on the seat to tell people they're working on the seats that don't sit in this chair. And they tried to make it out like that's what the airlines were going to do. And the reason they did that article is it was trending on Reddit. So. It's like they're not even going out. You know what I'm saying? Like all
these. They say, "Oh, you're grifters. You're baiters and all that."
Going out to you were out to the Mary Sue. The Mary Sue. It's all Reddit drama and like all kinds of bullshit that's trending because they're desperate.
Masturbators over there.
They're masturbators. That should be an award for the media, the Masturbator Award. But everybody's like, it's not clickbait if it comes from a reputable outlet.
But the reputable outlets aren't reputable outlets anymore either.
Yeah. CNN's not in a good mood tonight. They said, we are doomed. Okay, this is Oliver Darcy from Status News. We are doomed. One staffer texted me. The panic at CNN right now is off the charts. Yeah, so they all know. A lot of people are getting fired. Right. It's just
ironically, I have noticed lately CNN keeps trying to take it back to center, and they're actually putting things on CNN that you would like be normally like, oh, they actually put that on CNN because you wouldn't think they would because it isn't, just negativity towards Trump. And they're putting some stuff up there that was like, wow, that's a shocker. And it's like, no, they're trying desperately to save themselves.
This is bad. Handing CNN to Barry Weiss and David Ellison is very, very bad. Yeah,
right. You're supposed to keep handing it to people that tell you to give you the flavor of shit you want.
Again, how did we get here? Nobody watched your shit. The value of these networks declined. Misfire after misfire, years and years of mismanagement and greenlighting things that didn't make money, and then running headfirst into the wood chipper with the streaming because you all thought you could be Netflix. That's how we got here. That's how they get. And again, if we had years and years and years of hits, hit after hit after hit, and all this stuff that got greenlit, remember, Warner Brothers greenlit Velma. Okay, they greenlit all like Cartoon Network shit for years.
It's funny because we've been around for like this whole thing, and we've said repeatedly the news needs to go back to center because they're losing people. We said when they were greenlighting all this stupid stuff, it's like no one's going to watch that. You need to have mass appeal things, and these aren't it. And we said when they all announced their own streaming service, we said it's going to be Highlander. Because they're going to all announce it, but they're all going to gobble each other up because it's not going to be enough for everybody. The pie's not big enough, and that's what's going to happen. And all of these things came to pass.
Put some money in the jar, or buy a Geeky Sparkles pen. You can do that too. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up.
Yes.
All right, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.